Hello, friends. Once again, today we are going to talk about motivation. And a critical thing is, how do you stay motivated all the time? Yes, there are certain actions which motivate you, but how do you continue to stay motivated to go on your desired path? Okay. And we're going to look at that today. So, sustained motivation is essential to keep moving to a higher purpose. Okay. You don't want to stay where you are. You want to keep growing. And if you want to keep growing, you need sustained motivation, especially when things are not going the right way, when things go wrong, when things go awry. That's the time that you need motivation because under such circumstances, your willpower gets depleted. Any negative encounter during your progress will deplete your willpower. So continuous motivation is necessary. But if we feel that it is only continuous motivation that is going to solve all your challenges, then think again. Because you need motivation, but that concept of continuous motivation to progress is not really true. What you need along with motivation is discipline. You know, a lot of people are motivated, but they don't have discipline. And then that progress becomes a big challenge. Okay. So motivation is really essential to, to address the initial inertia of starting a project or a task. But once that task has been started, then you need discipline to keep following it up. And this is pretty much like, we talk of a rolling stone. Okay. The initial push that you require is drastic, is huge, immense. But once you move past that, then maintaining the rolling is very easy. And it's the same in business. A lot of people think they're great businessmen, but they've stepped into maybe a family business or something which was there ready-made for them. They didn't have to worry about that initial push. That initial push that you require is the motivation part of it. You need to be very motivated. Ask your father if you're in a family business or your grandfather who started the business, and you will realize that that going was tough, but they stayed motivated. Okay. But once you start that, then to keep going along the same path, if you want to keep going to a next level, yes, as I said, you're going to require motivation. But to keep going, it is much easier and lesser effort and energy is required. But what is definitely required is that you persist and carry on along the path. And this requires discipline. This is not about motivation anymore. It's about discipline. So motivation and discipline, there are two aspects. And whenever you start a task, don't quit the game. That's very important. Don't quit the game till you reach the stage where after putting in the initial effort, after going through your motivation phase, you keep doing it. Okay. Yes. Let's not forget. It will drain you, the motivation phase. And a lot of us tend to give up at that stage if life is so tough. What? But we don't realize that once you have gone through the initial phase of motivation, your energy that you require on a sustained, continuous basis is not the same as that level. So even though the initial stage of starting a business is going to be very draining and it will deplete you of your energies, it will really drain you in every which way, physically, mentally, and everything. But once you put in that sustained effort after that to persist and build discipline, okay, the going is much easier. Okay. So both motivation and discipline are necessary for living life and for continuous success. If continuous success is required, you need motivation all the time whenever you are going to the next level, when you are jumping a level, and discipline to make sure that you are staying on path of whatever you want. So now we're talking of success. Let's understand one thing. Success is not bothered about your wishes. I want to be successful with everything. But success doesn't care about that. Success doesn't care about my feelings. Success doesn't care whether I am tired or not. Success is only a result of your motivation and discipline, your actions on both the fronts. Okay? While it is debatable and it can be a topic of another talk, I would believe personally that after the initial push, it is discipline that is more. Because even at the same level, by not having additional motivation after the start, but by having discipline and persisting along the path, you are still going to go from success to success. But it may not be at that higher level which all of us wish to. But to go to that higher level, as I said, you need both motivation and discipline all the time. So keep both your motivation and your discipline going and at their peak all times throughout your life. Okay? It's not going to kill you, trust me. Keeping both motivation and discipline simultaneously going and at their peak is not going to kill you. But if you don't do that, if you don't keep motivation and discipline at their peak as a part of your daily life, it is going to kill your dreams and your goals. Okay? So don't kill it. And at the end of the day, if it is keeping it high is not going to kill you, let's go back to that old adage that what doesn't kill you is only going to make you stronger without fail. So it's not going to kill you, but not having that is definitely going to kill your dreams, your goals. Okay? So keep it alive, keep it high. It's not going to kill you. And what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Okay? Let's take a simple example of going to work every day. Yeah, initially you would need motivation. You have to get up after school, in school, maybe in college, you got up at 10 o'clock and nobody questioned you. Okay, you could bunk a class and nobody questioned you, or it didn't bother because you can make it up at a later date. But in life, when you start working, that's not the case. There are rules you will have to follow, which are very strict. So in the initial stage, you'll need a lot of motivation to get up in time, to get dressed, to get ready, travel to work and reach work on time. But once you have done that for some time, it becomes a discipline. I mean, I will give you an example of a very young child. She's barely 9 years old, 8.5 to be. She goes to school and every day wakes up at 6 o'clock. Now that routine has become a habit, a discipline, where even on weekends, she will still wake up at 6 o'clock. And trust me, she uses that time beautifully. I'm talking of my granddaughter. She uses that time beautifully. She will sit down and read. She is a fanatic when it comes to reading. She'll sit down and read. She'll go to the kitchen, pick up a few snacks, sit down in her cozy corner. She'll make herself comfortable, not disturb her parents, but she will wake up at that early hour, even on a holiday, because it's become a part of her routine. It's something she has disciplined herself to do. Okay, so when you're going to work also, maybe the continuous motivation is just money. And maybe you want to go to the higher level just to make more money. No harm in that. That's one of your goals. Fair enough. You might want just a designation. That's your goal. Be happy with whatever goal you have as long as it is helping you and it makes you happy. Okay. So even if motivation is your goal, or money is your motivation and goal, just keep going every day and do your best. You will gain success even at the same level. Your designation may not change, but your money will change as you contribute more and as you perform better. Okay. So when you're working more towards on a certain path, And the more you work, the more you succeed. And trust me, success is that adrenaline shot which is going to get you inspired and more motivated to keep doing the same, because you're finding something that you can pat your back and say, well done. Okay. It's a great positive cycle. Okay. And by staying focused on this cycle of doing well, doing your best at all times, you will surely get great success. There's not an iota of doubt in that. Okay. So now, how does one develop discipline? Take baby steps. Okay. Any human being's brain will resist. It is built that way. It will resist big, abrupt changes because it can't handle that transformation. So when you take baby steps, okay, you have to realize that you can't change everything in a day. So when you take baby steps, what happens is that small change the brain can accept, and then work with that small change for some time till your brain accepts it completely and realizes that that is the new base level. Then take another baby step. In this way, you will keep growing without feeling frustrated, without any negative emotions coming out of your mind. The second step you need to take is to prioritize. We all have just 24 hours in a day, out of which you need to sleep for 6-7 hours, you need to eat and walk and whatever else. You have, say, 8 to 10, maybe 12 working hours in a day. Okay? To get that 12 working hours, you might sacrifice family life, but that's another story. That's not what we are discussing here. The point is that you have a limited amount of time to do all the things you want. So prioritize. You decide on what things you want more than the other and which will contribute the most towards getting and achieving your goal. So once you have done this, once you started prioritizing, you will make mistakes at all times. Everybody does. If you didn't make mistakes, you'd probably be God, superhuman. Okay. The key is to learn from your mistakes. And once you have made a mistake, once you have learned from them, make sure that you do not repeat the mistake. Make sure that that learning gets imbibed into your system so that you don't repeat the same mistake again. Everybody needs a recharge. It's not just your phone batteries. Okay, so take breaks. And when you take these breaks, don't think about work. Recharge yourself, refresh your mind, think of things other than work, so that when you get back to work after the break, you are again energized and ready to make a go at it. And develop and practice good habits. They're very important. Bad habits tend to kill you. Good habits help you to remain mentally, emotionally, and physically fit. So make sure that you develop and practice good habits. That way you will be fit in every which way. Now that we've talked about how to create better discipline in your life, how do you stay motivated? How to create that motivation factor in your life? Now, there are some small keys. Actually, as we have said in our talk, motivation is more about the mind. Okay. Whereas discipline is more about action. So when motivation is more about the mind, just talking of motivation is not going to help you. So what you need to do is that you need to create an environment. Say you want to go for a morning walk. Create the environment so that when the alarm rings in the morning, keep your walking clothes and shoes nearby where they will be easily visible. Or go out with a friend. Okay, that makes you stay on the goal. And announce your goal to people. Announce it to the world that this is what you're going to do. If nothing else, for the not to get shamed of not doing something you wanted, You will keep doing it. May not be the best way to do it, but go ahead and do it. And do it in a proper systemic manner. Decide when you will do it, where you will do it, how you will do it, and create a plan for that goal, and a concrete plan. It has to be, and make sure that you adhere to the plan. Commit to the plan. Under all circumstances, you will do, and just do it. Keep doing it till it becomes a habit. Another key thing is make a checklist of what things you need to do to reach your goal, and put it somewhere where you will see it every day. And every time you see it, am I doing this thing? Oh, I'm missing this out. Please go ahead and introduce it into your plan. Okay, so go out there, guys, sustain your motivation, build a discipline, and you will find yourself going from one success to the next and always be happy. Thank you. Hope this helps. Do send in your comments. I received a lot of comments on my last episode. I love getting those comments because it tells me whether I'm doing the right thing or not. Have a great day.